C-Doc again.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Forgot to turn my camera on. Anyway, it's another Tuesday night. It's 9 o'clock. It's about that time. C-Doc again. I'm your host, C-Doc. There you go. Follow me on Instagram at the Davey J Show. You read it right there. Anyway, I'll be your host this evening. And as always, got a very interesting show. Looking forward to it. Going to be a lot of fun. And going to talk some hip-hop stuff. Joining me tonight, my co-host, co-host number one, is in charge of the Spit Slam social media. I don't know why he's shaking his head. But the homie, the Stromie, from down in Louisville. I gotta ask him if I got that right. So chuckified.
You absolutely did not get that right.
Oh.
You started good and then it kind of fell flat.
How you do it? You gotta say it for me.
All right. I live in Louisville.
Oh, so you gotta mumble it.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. That's definitely a locals thing. I'll just keep calling it Louisville like every other goofball.
Normal person, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, what have you been up to?
Oh, setting things up, setting them up, knocking them down. Got some good stuff on the way. Good stuff a coming. You know, some interesting things.
Sweet.
Yep. So some things coming up on the label. Can't quite talk about them yet, but there's some good things coming. So we'll let the people know when we can let the people know. Actually, something else just came up today that the hard rhymer and I talked about. So we're going to get that in the works real quick.
Sweet.
So, yep. Professor Griff in the house. What up, sir?
Griff. That's who we need on here. The last Asiatic disciple.
That's right. LAD, the ex-minister.
LAD.
Griff, we got to talk. You got to come on the show, man.
That's right, man.
Yep.
Griff.
Anyway.
Fucking Griff.
Yep. I am the professor. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not because.
Guilty. So what the fuck?
All right. So also, our other. Oh wait! Before I get into that, my wife saying hello, Griff. So.
Also, ask Griff. Griff, I'm still trying to buy that PE tour jacket from you. I don't know if you remember me from Northern Kentucky.
There you go. There
It
you
won't
go.
fit me now, though I'm probably about 700 pounds more than I was when we first met.
Also, our next co-host. I will, Griff. I will. Our next co-host this evening hails from the West Side, L.A. Got her start in the what? Oh, I had this all planned out in my head and I totally biffed it. Anyway, our lady from the heyday of K-Day, Jennifer O'Jenny. Hello, Jenny.
Hello.
Man, I had it. I had your intro. I was gonna be like, classic hip hop radio, and whatever. Yeah.
You know, it was that radio station.
Yep, that radio station.
Yeah.
Speaking of radio, internet radio, our final co-host this evening hails from the Northwest Side. And he's the president of Rap Station and the man behind the Hip Hop Gods. Ladies and gentlemen, Flatline.
Boom!
Flatline.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are
Gentlemen
you?
and lady. How are the nails there, Jenny? How are we doing with the nails today? Yep. Nail game very strong. Very strong.
No.
Can't beat it. Flatline, what's good, sir?
Man, this show is going to be good. That's what's going to be good.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Looking forward to this.
Yeah.
He looks like he did like 100 push-ups before he got on here. I think his energy level's the top.
Flatline.
I could do like 10 push-ups, so yeah, definitely not 100. No. Have you seen my arm? Like ramen noodles.
Yes.
Veins.
It's the Ramen Noodle Club.
Yeah, ramen noodles.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know about y'all, but
Yeah, there we go.
So Chuckified is not in the Ramen Noodle Club.
well, if I don't flex, it's worse than ramen noodles. It's more like lasagna noodles.
You know what? I hate to even bring this up, but could we talk about the DJ Akademiks thing?
Oh, can we please? Holy fucking shit, man. Somebody needs to bitch slap the taste out of his mouth.
Damn, Jenny, tell us how you feel.
Yeah, I know, coming in hot, but I'm so sick of. Oh my god, I cannot. I just cannot.
Yeah,
Talk about putting your showing your ass, putting your foot in your mouth, whatever you want to call it. He needs to quit.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for all of the dusty old school guys, he wouldn't have a job.
Yep.
What is his job, actually?
Who knows? He's not a DJ.
It's not a DJ.
Well, that's why I
You
did
know
the air
that.
quotes. That's why I did the air quotes. So, yeah.
Isn't he on just like a podcast?
Is he?
Yeah.
He's like Vlad TV. He's just
He's
an
a talking head.
instigator.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't even understand where the DJ Akademiks came from. DJ for what?
Right.
The playlist in your own damn mind? He's just
Well, he says that he said his comments were not. The context was omitted.
It was not.
Yeah,
It
right.
was not. He said what he said.
He said his comments were what, Chuck? I missed that. What did you say?
They were omitted.
Oh.
They took things out of context.
Yeah.
How do you take that out of context?
He said he was talking about educating the next generation rather than criticizing them. Yeah, because Chuck D is constantly not trying to pass along information.
Okay.
All I can say is blow it out your ass, DJ Akademiks.
Chris Payne in the house. Strong Island.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad I brought that up.
How do you feel about it?
It's completely and utterly ridiculous. Hip hop has always had that element of flossing, and I get it. I understand that. It was guys building something from nothing, and trying to get something out of it, and so I get that. I understand that, but it's not exclusively about money, so I don't know why anyone would say something to the effect.
Well, did you hear? Yeah, did you hear what LL said?
Yes. I thought LL spoke very eloquently.
I thought he did too. I thought Russell Simmons had some interesting points.
Yeah, sure.
But he's just, he obviously doesn't give a rat's ass.
No.
Because the first thing he said to Russell was, who are you talking to? Why don't you come back to the United States and, what? Wait a minute. What in the hell are you talking about? Because you cannot compare Cool Herc, Melly Mel, Red Alert, any of these guys you cannot compare them to anybody from now, because first of all, the what they created didn't exist yet.
Right.
It did not exist.
Exactly.
And quite honestly, it was supposed to be a fad.
Yeah.
It was supposed to go out as fast as it came in.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny too, because you know, you walk through Walmart and De La Soul comes on and it's like, what the hell? I never thought I would see that. Never.
Right.
In a million years.
How dare you compare these people now making all of this money, which I don't really think they do.
Sure.
But I think a lot of it is put on. But don't compare them to the people who started it all. Number one, anybody who's making money now, hand over fist, I'm sorry, where did they come from? Probably Lil Wayne. and is Lil Wayne gonna say, you know, fuck Melly Mel? What? No, he's not.
Right.
He's not. So where do you get off? First of all, you don't have anything to do with, and I hate the term, the culture, but you don't have anything to do with it in any constructive anything.
Maybe he was just trying to stir up some shit. Get
I'm
us talking
sure.
about it.
I'm sure. It just, I can't. Just shut it. Just shut it. I can't take it. Don't talk about these people like that. Because if it wasn't for them, none of us would be here.
That's right.
He wouldn't be here. Nobody would be here. And just like LL said, we don't spend time looking in everybody else's pocketbooks. What's going on here?
I thought that was actually one of the best points that LL made.
Yeah.
That, you know, they don't do that for any other genre of music.
You don't. Nobody cares how much money Jimi Hendrix ever made, and I bet you it was pennies.
Yeah. Yep.
I bet you. It's so stinking annoying that this Joker, and God bless Russell Simmons and LL Cool J for not even saying his name.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to find out, like, you know, through the Twitter threads.
Right? Because it's like, I'm sorry, who are you?
And then I was like, wait, who is this guy?
Right.
Yeah.
MC Search was talking about it. He was like, I wasn't going to say anything, but, you know, everybody keeps shoving it in my face, so I guess I got to say something. And the whole time he's doing his little thing, his shirt says, "Stop making stupid people famous."
Right.
Sure
I was like, yay, Search.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
And when one of these guys, do you want to run up against Melly Mel?
Right.
I don't. Have you seen Mel? I mean, to this very day, he takes his shirt off the entire show and is like, you know, completely yoked up. No.
Mel's muscles have muscles.
Right.
That's
And
how
you know
that's
that
right.
he and Scorpio have put out a powder now, like a muscle
protein powder?
Protein thing.
Yeah.
You know what it's called?
What? I knew you were gonna. Shut up.
It
Shut
should
up.
be.
Right?
It should be
But
called that.
I want one of these guys to. To be somewhere, and this idiot walk up and have somebody say, "You know who that is, don't you?"
Right.
So they can
Just
just.
justified. You got me good. You got me good, brother.
Yeah.
So they could just take his teeth out. I'm so sick of him.
I heard Beat Street Breakdown yesterday in the White Castle line, and I was like, oh, yeah. That's a joint.
No, yeah.
Mar and I went out to this Mexican spot for dinner on Saturday night, and they were playing. Damn it, it's escaping my mind, but they played something that I totally did not expect, and I was like, "Yo, what?" I mean, it was some real serious truth. I mean, they played Biggie, which I was kind of like, "Oh, okay." You know, they played Juicy, but then they played something else. It was like Brand Nubian or something. I was like, "Whoa, what?"
A Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, I was bugging. I'm like, "Yo, this is props to whoever put on the satellite radio station." You know,
Right?
I was really impressed, but so
There it is. I was waiting. Yep.
Oh no!
Damn.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow!
It's a miracle you're alive.
C-Dog. Oh, wow!
She comes on her spouse's show, calls his ass out.
Yeah.
Why not?
we,
What a
we had
better
a we had a
place
nice
to do it.
time. We had a nice time.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a captive audience. Why can't she come out on his own show and just to
Right.
call him out?
Exactly.
Call you out on your shit, man, because she knows I got her back.
Thanks. I think so.
No, that wasn't a thank you from you.
No, I
That
know.
should be
I'm
from
not
Laura.
thanking you for having my wife's back, I guess.
I'm gonna give him shit for it. Yes, exactly. You got it, hand. I'm right there for you.
Oh, well, now that we've gotten that out of the way, our distinguished guest this evening hails from what most people consider the golden era of hip hop.
Oh, when those dusty people were around.
Yeah, right. In the dusty.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
the dusty
He's-
one.
He's
And
shaking
he's
his head.
going,
He's shaking his head. I'm sure we're gonna get to hear what he has to say
Right.
about it. Member of the DITC crew, dropped his first album officially in '94, and has been putting out quality material ever since then. Ladies and gentlemen, OC.
Peace.
Peace,
Yeah,
bro.
there he is.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
How are you, sir?
How you doing?
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
So, do you want to weigh in on the DJ Akademiks thing?
he's
Or,
like, what?
yeah.
I don't pay
What?
things like that no mind. That's what it's there for, to distract us.
Yes.
Mhm.
Good point. Great
You know.
point.
He's not even a DJ, but you know.
Thank you.
Yep. Exactly.
What can you do, man?
People are gonna you know. They're gonna do
Yeah.
they're gonna do dumb shit. So
Yeah, and you know, I think people get mad at me sometimes because I don't say anything, you know, when things come up, but I don't get involved with that shit
right.
unless it's really something that I mean, it's the culture, so we're all involved, you
Yeah.
know, in some form of fashion, but some things don't take answering. That's just how I feel. And
Yeah.
I mean, who better to answer than LL and, you know, anybody else who answered them, you know.
Yeah. Exactly. Nope. I
Oh,
totally
they've been
agree.
coming for him, yeah.
Yep, I totally agree. I kind of, like I said at the top of the show, I didn't even really want to bring it up, but I did want to get my co-host take on it. So,
Nah, it's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, people feel like I don't talk enough anyway, so But some things like that, I don't even pay that no mind, man. That's bullshit to me. He's a human being, but we all know some human beings ain't good people.
Right. Yep.
He needs to have MC Search's shirt that says "Stop making stupid people famous." There you go.
Well, they've been doing it before hip hop, so
Right.
Very true.
Sometimes we even make him president. Why not?
Yeah. Let me say this real low. I told my wife he was gonna be president. She looked at me crazy, but I was like, it's not because he's the brightest person on the planet. It's just the agenda.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So when I seen them implement him into the race, it was like he's gonna be the next president of the United States. And people, I said it a couple of times, but people, yeah, people just looked at me crazy, like, yo, you bugging out. Why would you say that? And I was like, I'm not saying it because I wanted to be like that.
Right. You just knew what was coming.
I just, I've been around a little bit and I know what this is about. And we know what politics is about. It's not about, it's all a face. It's face.
Yep.
Queen of England is face.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sensitive, and I ain't the one to debate nobody about who's who and what's what and all of. So I just don't say names and places and faces and things like that because people be like, what's wrong with you? You're not standing up for your rights. It's like, what the hell I got to do with my rights, man? I said he was going to be president. That's all I said.
Right.
But you know what it is.
Yep, exactly.
Yo, first of all, though, I want to thank y'all because every time I look at, and I don't pay attention to lists too much, but every time I look at music lists, y'all always have me on a list, man.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
with music,
Thank Flatline for that.
Yo, Flat, like, I can't wait to see you in person again. In light of all this going on, because I ain't trying to travel right now either, but that's what the music is about. And I, not to go back to the Akademiks thing, but that's what LL was talking about. We ain't do this shit for no money. Like, I loved it first before I thought about, trying to make a living off of it. And that's why I did it.
Yeah.
I got down with, Prince and March because I love the music and I was a student of theirs. So, and I'm still a student. So people don't understand, like, yo, we did this music because we loved it. And it's still young.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story, but just thank y'all, man, for always having me on. I'm glad I always put music out, even if it's somebody that people might not recognize right off the top. If I feel it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Well, no, thank you for continuing to put out dope music through the years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's quality material, and I told Curious this a couple weeks ago. It's just so easy to support your music when it's just that good. You know what I mean? Like it's. O's got a new track out. Oh, he's featured on a track. Well, we need to play that. And every time you're just, knocking it out the park. So
And here's the thing too. People always ask, yo, when that I'm like, man, I've been putting out projects since I started. Fuck is y'all talking about? Yo, when the next I said, yo, I put out like 4 or 5 albums in the past 4 or 5 years. Y'all just not paying attention, but it's not that they're not paying attention. It's flooded, man.
Yeah.
Everybody rap now, and everybody do beats, and everybody DJ, but it doesn't mean everybody can do it good.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
The what I tell the artists we work with at Spit Slam is that don't try not to get caught up in that stuff because your album, even if it's old, is always new to somebody.
Right.
Somebody going to discover it at their own pace. Chuck and I talk about that all the time. So
yeah, I always say my music is gonna everybody's music is gonna outlast them.
Yeah.
Who makes music, and DJs and MCs and graph writers and the break dancers and all of the original elements, like they're gonna talk about us when we not around. So that's the mark. And the addition and the plus is if you're still making good music.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. So I want to get you. Obviously, you've been prolific in the music you do. How do you feel about artists from your generation that kind of still don't do that anymore? We talked to Daddy-O about this stuff, and he's a big proponent of his peers putting out new music, even when they don't. Do you talk to the people you came up with, your peers? Do you talk to them about that, about putting out new music?
Well, like I said, March and Prince I'm a student for life under them. They put me on, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I look at them. I'm a big, big advocate of not putting out music. Put it like this. When I feel like I can't do it anymore, I'm gonna just stop doing it. It's a lot of peers I'm a fan of, and I'm not mentioning no names, but some of them need to stop making music. Not because they shouldn't, but if you're not gonna implement 200% into, as you did it when you first started, you shouldn't make music anymore. And it's just my opinion.
Sure. No, that makes sense. I get that.
Yeah, and also you have to figure out how to evolve with it. What that means, I don't know. I haven't put out music for myself as far as like LPs in a while, but that should take a lot of energy too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your life force, man. People don't understand that.
Yeah.
DJing, interviewing, you giving up your life force. So, when people say, I like your first album and your second ain't like the third, it's like, I don't give a shit what you don't like, but I'm up for that scrutiny, because once you let it go, it's not yours anymore. Right. It's subject to opinion. And that's for anything, but for me, I'd rather mine be 75%, instead of being just straight trash. And for that, you have to be careful. And I'm not the young guy, so it's not in that sense like urgency of me putting out music. I do it because how I feel, and I soak up what's going on around me, and us having a conversation, and not to be mean, I'm being funny, but if an old person trips and I either laugh or I don't, or you understand, like it depends on the mood, and people don't get that. It's like, when you putting out the next album, I don't know, maybe never, but I got like 20 albums.
Right. Yeah.
I'm dead. I'm not blowing smoke. I really have probably damn near 20 by myself, not even including digging stuff.
Right.
So I'm like, damn, man, like, you ain't had enough?
That's kind of a compliment too at the same time.
Sure.
People want more.
Am I not doing enough? Like, I don't know what I can't keep up with how y'all think I should be putting out it don't work like that. Like, this is I'm drawing off. We draw off each other. I draw off of y'all, whether I believe that or not. Like, I keep all that packed in, and then when I decide to, and if I get that buzz, then I have things to talk about.
Yeah, but that also says a lot about the quality of your music, because you're not just doing it for some bullshit reason. You're doing it because it means something to you.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I've done anybody who said they didn't a straight liars. I've done throwaway records too,
Sure.
like where people be like, "Did it? Who? What? I don't know what that is." Oh, it's like, I got caught up in the bullshit. Everybody do, and you know, I try to humanize what people think is some Superman shit. It is to a degree, but at the end of the day, man, you know, it's about enjoying the music.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. Well, can we go back and talk about the early days of when you came up with with Organized Confusion and the DITC guys, and what it was like from your perspective, that era, and the way the music was coming out, because it was definitely a different time for sure.
Yeah.
And you know, before the corporations, you know, got involved, you know, when people were easier to write it off. Do you have any interesting stories from those days that you can let us in on?
Well, my inception to the game and to peers, my introduction to the digging peers was through the Source tour. I went on the very first Source tour with Prince and March, and that was with Lord Finesse, of course. Ness brought Buck with him on a few shows. That's how I met Buck Wow, you know, who was a part of digging. Biz Markie, Roxanne Shante. It was a group called the Little Bastards, but y'all know him now as Doggy Diamonds.
Yeah, okay.
MC Search, Almighty RSO, Ray Benzino.
Oh yeah.
Quite a few people was on that tour, but that was my inception to, you know, my introduction to MC Search and Ness and Buck, and I never forget, man. People was mad at me because I believe Mecca and the Soul Brothers came out. No. What's the joint with Reminisce on it?
Yeah, that's it. Mecca and the Soul Brothers.
The Soul Brothers, and I was running that record before we even left New York. It was so powerful to me. I kept playing that shit on the bus, and that's how me and Buck got tight. Cause they was like, enough, man. The record is incredible, but it was so amazing to me. And you know, I'm a newbie. I'm just like, damn, like this is it. This is how I'm gonna make music, and that's where my introduction came through.
Yeah, that's a game-changing album. For real. Damn.
Shout out to Pete and CL, man. They changed my life.
Yep. They changed a lot with that record.
Yeah.
So when did you start making moves and start doing your own recordings? Because you were doing stuff prior to, was it prior to getting signed to Wild Pitch?
Yeah, I was basically doing this student into the 36 Chambers, the real movie shit. Like, you know, March and Prince had me. Put it like this: March is the meek one, he's laid back, and Prince is the outspoken one. So in the process of me trying to find my voice, you know, I naturally sounded like Pharaoh and Prince because I was their understudy. And you know, March would be like, yeah, it's cool. Like when I did demos, and I'd be like, damn, like, but Prince would be like, yo, that shit is trash. It's whack.
Wow.
Don't find your own voice. And I used to get upset and get my feelings hurt. But in hindsight, later on, when I figured it out, he was like, yo, rap how you talk. Now, that's where the whole people say, yo, you sound just like the way you rap. And that was because of Prince Poe telling me, yo, find your own voice. And I didn't know what that meant for about a year. And he was like, yo, find your own voice. Rap how you talk. Look how you talk to us. This is how you should be rhyming. And I figured it out. It took me a couple of years, but I figured it out. And, you know, fast forward, we went on the tour. And that's how Search figured out I wasn't a third member. But, yo, Poe used to stay on. Nah, you sound just like me. or you sound just like Pharaoh. And we used to get into crazy arguments, but you know, he did it out of love, man, and I'm glad he did that. I'm glad they did that. I'm glad Mark said, you know, it's cool, you know, but you sound like, you know, me, and I get that. So I'm a little bit of them, and I'm a lot myself, but you know, I figured that out.
Yeah, no, that's dope. So now we've had other. I'm curious about your wild pitch experience because we've had Chill Rob G on to talk about it, and we had Ultramagnetic on. We had Keith and Sed on a couple weeks back, and I asked them about and obviously they've had two completely different wild pitch experiences. But how was your wild pitch records experience?
I had no issues. I mean,
okay,
at that time, I'm actually the first artist signed to Searchlight Music, you know. And then came a cat named Nasty Nas. You know what I'm saying? Right. And Search was my manager. Look, and I'll say this in all goodness, you know, but now knowing that now, you know, that you don't mix business with your management, but basically gave me a good deal. I had the best deal at Wild Pitch out of anybody. Out of Finesse. I think Finesse got maybe $500 to do his first album, something like that. Wow. And don't quote me, but it was a low number.
Yeah.
To me, personally, Large Professor and Main Source made that possible for me to get the, you know, the deal that I got when they, you know, merged with EMI. So I don't have no horror stories from Wild Pitch.
Okay. No, that's it. They were always one of my favorite labels because the lineup, you know, was crazy.
Yeah.
But then also I noticed over time that a lot of artists only did one record with them and then moved on to other things. And so
to me, Wild Pitch was a base, a point where, you know, if you want to test some good music, you put it out on Wild Pitch, and then you go on to another label, or you go on to do other things afterwards. It was like a proving ground, so to speak. And like I said, man, to this day, that Breaking Atoms album, like, I was there for all of that. So, you know, I was around for, excuse me, not to jump all over the place, but I was around Large early because of Prince and March. They was all under a guy named Paul C.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pharaoh, Prince, Super Lover C. Casanova Rudd, Eric B. Rakim, Ultramagnetic. You know, Large Professor is his understudy. You know, Paul C. is a white boy.
Yeah. Yep. Shout out to Paul C. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Like,
one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah. Like, so, you know, if you listen to this Sonic records by Ultramag early on, and Super Lover C. Casanova Rudd, and what Large Professor was producing for G-Rap and all, I'm there. You know, but I'm the fly on the wall, 1212 Studios. You know what I'm saying? And you know, so I when I hear people talk sometimes, I wasn't there every day, but I was there for me. Like, I was there. You know, they had a barbershop downstairs in the Gertz Mall in Jamaica, Queens, which is basically 1212 was behind it, but you know, there was a barbershop downstairs, and you know, it was two cats cutting hair downstairs, Sticky and Fredro.
Wow.
So this is all
that's crazy.
Yeah, like, I seen this go, you know, I seen Rakim, Brian Paul C is tight, you know what I'm saying? I guess Sed G and Paul C and TR, and you know, them guys I'm seeing them, but I'm a nobody, you know what I'm saying? But I'm standing there soaking everything up.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm supposed to be where we supposed to be having this conversation right now, because because of them.
Yeah. Wow. Damn, man.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible history.
it is. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Shout out to Red Venom too. Red Venom in the house tonight from the UK, and he
sir.
He shouted out Mikey D.
Mikey D.
Mikey D.
Yeah,
Yep.
legends, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. Wow. Damn, man.
Yeah.
I wish you would have had a video camera.
Yo, we all say that now, and
Right.
I remember Gangstar. I remember Preem and Guru doing that video shit back then. You know, Preem got some footage of early on to, you know, and we all say that now. I wish I had a camera, man.
Yeah. Ah.
Amazing.
Yeah, amazing stuff, right?
Yeah.
So Flatline, I'm hogging the interview. Go ahead. I know we're gonna get to.
It's fine. I got like a billion questions. I don't even know where to go.
Well, we can go chronologically and talk about your favorite album because we're about there.
Well, I got lots of favorites, but
okay,
we'll hold it up.
There you go.
There we go.
Nice.
That's still sealed, by the way.
Wow.
Ooh.
I haven't cracked that.
Wow.
I got all the singles.
Wow.
And finally, just because, you know, why wouldn't we? And I didn't know this until I messaged you about this, but there's 2 different colors for the Jewels CD, which is pretty dope.
Yo,
I had the green. I got the green when it dropped, and then years later, I just came across the gold version, and I was like, "What is going on?"
Well, they had 3 versions, if I'm not mistaken.
There's a third.
Yeah, it was green, gold. I didn't know this at first, but it was green, gold, and if I'm not mistaken, white with red piping for Jewels.
Whoa. Okay. Well, I'll be on the hunt for that shortly.
Yeah.
Damn,
so you
Flatline, you slacking.
Yeah. You see the gold and you see the green, but they had white, but it was just, you know, the outlining in red. Mm-hmm. And I don't even have those.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Well, it goes without saying, I love that album. I have friends, we talk about it all the time. We're like, man, that album is just like, and it's just not talked about enough. Can you speak on it? The creation of it? Did you want to go next level? Production? Like, it's incredible, start to finish. So
I mean, you do have a who's who of producers on that record.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah. For real? Why you say that?
I mean, the
people who feel, you know, these people, but this is D&D. This is every day, like walking past people, you know, cursing people out, laughing, playing pool.
Yeah.
You know, going to the, you know, this is in Manhattan, in the middle of Midtown. So, you know, we all cool. MOP, Gangstar, the list goes on. Hove, Big, Boot Camp Click. This is normal, you know, inside the spot. And B minus, you know what I'm saying? Like, these is my friends, my peers. But I made them all feel it though. I told them, because I tried to get, you know, these cats on my first album, Cream, B minus, none of them was fucking with me. Wow. I'm saying it now. Like, it was like, get out of here. Like, yeah, y'all wasn't messing with me. Like, you know, it was a proving ground back then. So
yeah,
it was like I reached out to all of y'all. You, Pete Rock, this one, that one, Large, everybody. Nobody. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it was personal. It was just like, you have to prove yourself.
Yeah.
And you know, that's how the so-called who's who ended up on the second album, because I paid people to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people got paid for it. And, you know, shout out to everybody, but it's no amount of money that, you know, can put that type of lineup together. But naturally, it was something that just happened because we all walked around in the same studio together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that you have that there's a feature from Bumpy Knuckles and then a feature from Freddie Fox, of course, being the same person. I think that's so dope.
Yeah,
I've
he
always
introduced
loved that.
himself like as Bumpy on the album. He was already calling himself Bumpy, but nobody knew that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Man. Well, incredible. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, nah. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, man, I'm not bullshit when I say that. Like I stepped to all these people. So my first album lineup is, of course, Organized, of course, Finesse, who I met on the Source tour, Buck, OG, Prestige.
Mm-hmm.
Pharaoh did the original Born to Live. So fast forward, when I got around to the second album, it was just like, where was y'all guys? And they looking at me crazy. So I'm dead ass when I say what I say. I was like, y'all was not, I had to pay Mr. Wolf to do Loop Up Dangerous for me. He wouldn't do the record. Like,
wow.
Because these guys is diggers. They, they're into intricate. I'm like, that's a Park Jam record, man. Like, that's every DJ's. Come on, man. I'm biting Shan. I was a fan of Down by Law. Like, come on, like.
Yeah.
And Walt was like, nah, that's too easy. And I was like, okay, this is change your mind. And he was like, that's that bullshit. Oh, give me the check. And and they did it, and it came out exactly how I visioned it. But
yeah, that track is a monster between you and L going back and forth.
Yeah, like it's
crazy.
We don't have enough time tonight, man. We're gonna have to probably do a part two.
Part two.
That's fine.
But Dangerous was a prelude to an album that me and L was about to start. And only record we had to do was Get Yours off the Black Mass soundtrack. I believe Diamond produced, and then he got murdered.
Yeah.
Wow. So Showbiz, me and Show had a vision. Show had a vision of like, yo, y'all gonna do an album together because he seen the chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know if L want to do no album. L just came off Columbia, and L was touring with me. So L seen, I heard things like Ebonics in pieces on the airplane. Yo, dog, what you think of this? And I'm like, man, we've been like doing shows every night. I don't want to hear that shit. Like, so L is telling me about a kid Coca's Pine, then lifted him high, and then he'll stop and be like, what you think? And I'm like, it's all right, like, but I don't want to hear that shit right now.
Hmm.
But it took him like 2 years to put that record together.
Wow.
And he write fast and everything, but dude was a genius, man. Like, I wish, him and a few other people I can see. I wish we can get to see what they would have done at the, recorded, more music, Big and Pun. And I seen these things, and it was like, damn, man, how would they have been 20 years from now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Old Jay-Z wouldn't have been in his spot. Yes, he would have. Him and Nas is exactly where they supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yep. That doesn't mean that they couldn't have been there too. So
exactly. To me, some of us don't sell millions of records. OC, but I consider myself at that time, with them like A-list MCs. Like,
yeah.
I don't care how many records you sold. Like, I got records too. What up? That's how I felt, and it was a natural competition. Obviously, Here's something people don't know. Nas left me in the studio for the first album when he was supposed to be on Word Life. He left me hanging. But, me and Buck waited for hours.
Wow.
Yeah. And we was under the same banner with MC Search. But, I explain that now to people like, yo, he had the city on his back, man. And he was like 19 years old.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in. And in hindsight, I probably was mad at that time, but so was Jay. That's why him and Jay had a beef. He did the same thing to Jay. He did it to Big. People don't know. Yo, I'll be right back. He left the studio, never came back. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we all took it personal. Some of us took it more personal than others, but you know, I'm proud of them dudes, man, and I'm proud of myself in that sense because I'm like, yo, you know, I still like will get in other people's ass when it comes to making music. You know, let's put it to the test 20, 30 years from now. It's 30 plus now.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got to ask about one of my all-time favorite joints that you're on, and that's the return of the Crooklyn Dodgers.
Oh man,
yeah. What was it? What, because the original Crooklyn Dodgers was so dope, and then when you know the soundtrack for Crooklyn came out, I totally didn't expect that.
Right.
And it was dope again, even though it was a totally different lineup. And I thought that was such a beautiful, genius thing, man. What was the sessions like for that joint?
It was amazing. Chubb knocked it out the park in like 5-10 minutes, and me and Rue was like,
right, yeah.
Okay, and Preem was like, yo, y'all got y'all shit, and we was like, nah, we coming back tomorrow. So Preem got mad a little bit. But Chubb came in and yo, he knocked that shit out in like 5-10 minutes. I kid you not. And we was like, damn, like that's why he went first. Okay. And I said, all right, I'm definitely following his shit up. And like I said, Preem was because we had to get the record done. But Preem was like, yo, y'all gotta get this done, man. Y'all gotta get this done. And I was like, all right, I have mine done by tomorrow, but damn, like talking about putting pressure.
Yeah.
But to follow.
To me, it shouldn't have been called Return of the Crooklyn Dodgers because to me the first record was just it wasn't no top in that record. If you tried, that's crazy. How I felt. And it's two different records, night and day. I think the one that Tip produced and Ed and Ace and Buck was on was almost a crossover record by accident. It was just that dope and smooth, and you know the way they weave their verses and stuff together. It's a point. That's a well put together song. And it didn't take no 5. Some people be like, yo, I did it in 3 minutes. It's like, yeah, it sound like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, example for all y'all kids and homies and homegirls out there making music, if you want to hear a well put together record, the Crooklyn Dodger original is a well put together record. And I couldn't approach it like that. You know what I'm saying? And Preem was like, nah, we not gonna do it like that. Like we gonna, you know, I do the grimy shit, and that's what we did.
How did this the selection process go for that? How did you get on pick? Was it Preem's call?
It was Preem's call. Me and Rue was kind of hot, but it was Preem's call. I don't even think they wanted me on the record. I think they wanted Rue and Chubb, and they had somebody else in mind. And if I'm not mistaken, I either did Jewels already or was done already. And you know, by that time, Digging and Gangstar and everybody, we all in D&D all the time together. So work was coming through there. Preem probably was throwing everything off of Gangstar to MOP or us, or you know, showing AG, like shit like that. You know, passing work on. And you know, they asked for somebody else, and he probably was like, "Well, what about OC?" And they was like, they either was like, "Who's OC?" or they was like, "All right, we'll trust your judgment on it." And that's how the record, you know, was done.
It's such a dope record. And if I had a time machine and a lot of money, I'd go back in time and hire. I always had this idea that it could be a super group album
Wow.
the Crooklyn Dodgers, and
Yeah.
have Q-Tip produce one side
Right.
with the original Cats, Primo produce the other side with you guys, and then like on each side, there all 6 of you would be on one joint.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's my dream.
Yeah,
that never happened.
right. That's a dream lineup. Like, it's hard to get Preem in the studio. Shit, like,
yeah,
you know, once he get the work of his mindset on something, he'll do it. But
yeah,
you know, Preem and Q-Tip, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of testosterone.
right,
for real. You know,
yeah.
But the thing is, we had never been in the same space or building to perform the records together, like back to back, until I believe we did Prospect Park one year, probably back in 08, 09, something like that. And I'm just guessing. And you know, they did the original Crooklyn Dodger, and then we came out, and then we all stood on stage together, and it was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. We only did that shit once, but we did it outdoors in Prospect Park in the heart of Brooklyn.
Wow.
And it was bananas because nobody knew, you know, even people behind stage didn't know this was going to happen. And, you know, it was crazy. Everybody was there. Tip, everybody. Cream, DJ'd, everybody was there.
Man. If anyone has video of that, please.
Yeah, seriously.
You know? Damn.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All right, can I bring up another favorite?
Sure.
Please.
Let's talk.
Okay.
Man.
Okay. So we gotta bring this up. Love New York.
Yeah.
This is the 3rd time I brought it up on the show. Produced by Ray West. Which then led into Ray's Cafe, which to me, there is something really, really special about this album. Can you speak on working with Ray on this? Because you were like at his place recording, correct?
Yeah, that was only thing I came up with was the lyrics and the title.
Okay.
Ray's Cafe. And but that was Ray's brainchild. He had an idea. He had an idea to do some Wu-Tang shit. And when I say Wu-Tang shit, you know, if you listen to the verses, I ain't count bars and none of that on the joint. Like, he was just like, yo, do what you feel. And I would stop right there and be like, he like, yeah, like that. And I'm like, yo, it do fit. And, you know, we did the records like that. And by the time he let me hear what he was, because I didn't understand.
Yeah.
I understood, but I didn't understand. You know, you can't be in Jenny's head. You can't be in somebody's head. So it's just like, let me just follow his lead. And I say all that to say, man, like, I'm a hell of a writer. I know that. But my first couple of records, people produced me. I didn't produce, like, in that sense. Like, I let the producer produce and, you know, let me do my writing, and I know what to do, so to speak. And I'll leave you alone on the producer side, and you leave me alone on the writer side until we get something cohesive. And then we can start, yeah, that's it. Nah, that's not it. Yo, change that word, or I'll change the snare, you know. You gotta let the producers produce, man. That's the best records.
Yeah. Well, I love it. And then I got everything. I got all the product.
Yeah, that's and shout out to, you know, Ray and AG. That's their label.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know what the hell, like I said, but I knew it was something. Ray is a genius.
He is.
Shout out to him, especially because a lot of the sound that you hear today is, to me personally, is Ray West, and it came through via Rock Marcy.
Yep.
That's a great point.
Him and Marcy started something that I don't think they get credit for.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a great point.
you know, just I mean, everybody was looping, everybody was doing, but they was doing it in a way where it wasn't being done.
Mm-hmm.
And that album, Ray's Cafe and Everything's Berry and all that stuff, to me is AG, Rock Marcy, and Ray West ushering in something new that they didn't know they was ushering in. And that's usually how things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Completely original.
Yeah.
Even the first time I heard Love New York, because I bought it off the strength of like just the lineup on this thing is crazy. Everybody's on there. But it took me a couple spins and then it clicked. And I was like, okay, this is just a completely different vibe. And I've been a fan ever since. And I actually reached out to Ray after that after Love New York came out, and we've been tight ever since.
Yeah.
So shout out to Ray West, Red Apples 45.
There you go.
45, and people don't realize Kool Keith, man. He's one of the greatest, if not, and it's not by my mouth, Rakim. Kool Keith is probably one of the greatest artists of all time.
Yep.
That's how MF Doom off top.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, it wouldn't be MF Doom and all these cats. They was there. You know, K and D was there from the inception as well. But I don't think a lot of people associate, you know, MF Doom with Sub Rock.
No, they don't, which is bizarre, but you know, I get it.
People, you know, first time I heard MF Doom, I was like, people like MF Doom. I'm like, who the fuck is MF Doom? Like, what?
Right. I'm like, oh, wait, you mean Zev Love X? Is that who we're talking about?
And Search was like, yo, that's them. And I'm like, nah, word? Yeah. Like, I know him. Like, who the hell y'all talking about? And, but MF Doom is something like the, you know, the Raise Cafe projects. Like, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy.
Yep, it is. OC, can you talk about because one of my favorite documentaries is the Stretch and Bobbito Radio That Changed Lives. Because me coming from Pittsburgh, I wasn't privy to it, you know, to the show, and I found out about it later. But can you talk about some of the being up there at the show and the freestyles and what it was like being around that?
I guess for New York, and not just for New York, it was a proving ground for MCs. Nas, Biggie, Jay, Big L, Lost. Everybody had to pass through there, you know, to get that stamp, so to speak. And you know, even though people don't realize it's a distinction between freestyling and written and off the top of the head, and you know, we had a lot of lyrics back then, man.
Yeah.
You know, just that generation of MCs. Like, some people had lyrics that actually ended up on, you know, some of their albums, but for the most part, Kane is a perfect example. I heard probably a 88, 87-ish, probably even Set It Off verse with him, Jazzo, and Jay-Z. Young Jay-Z, nobody knew Jay.
Wow.
I believe it's on Cutmaster DC tape. It might be online as well. And yo, Jay and Jazzo was already where they are today lyrically. It just wasn't, you know, solidified. And I heard Kane's Supreme in this era, like, he went on after Jay and them, and I was like, damn, like, you pulled that out for them. And you know, that was before the record came out, before Kane's record came out. So you know, a lot of people would have lyrics, and to me, Big L and Jay actually battled already uptown, but they took it to the radio, and that's where y'all hear the freestyle with the him and Big L going back and forth, they became friends already, and respect was already, but they battled uptown. And L's, Jake came to L's hood, and you know, Dane might have it on tape.
Yeah.
But L and Jay battled, and Jay was stepping the dudes back then. He stepped to LL, he stepped to a few dudes. Him and Sauce Money and them was no, they wasn't to be played with. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I say all that to say, Stretch and Bob was a platform to display your lyrical ability, so to speak. And if you didn't pass through there, whether you was from the West Coast, the South, wherever, you know, you wasn't solidified.
It's an amazing documentary, and because the amount of footage and just seeing that stuff, and it's about as pure as hip hop gets.
Yeah,
you know, with Large Pro bringing his MPC up into the
I was there. I'm one of the freestyles, and like I said, March and Prince, I'm an understudy, man. Like I really mean that when I say that. Like them guys took me everywhere, and I soaked up game, and you know, anytime I got the chance to do my thing, I was always ready. But with them, they never let me just hop on stage with them. I used to get mad at that too. Like they used to never let me get on stage with them. They was just like, "You're not part of the group, man." You know, and it used to make me tight. So my thing was, shit, well, y'all put out a video with me on the video. Why I can't travel with y'all? Like, it was like, nah, it's not. You're not Organized Confusion. You know, even though your name OC, your shit is with a C, ours is with a K. This is the group, and this is you, the solo. And you know, yo, it's funny now, but you know, before, you know, back then, I used to be like, damn, like Prince don't like me.
Right. Yeah.
But it wasn't that, man. He was just grooming me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's priceless for sure.
Yeah. But they wouldn't let me get on stage. And we had Pudge out and all that. Like, they was like, nah, you know, it's not time. And in hindsight, they was building me up.
Right. Yeah.
Sir, I remember Serch saying something talking about Time's Up. And the first time he heard it, and he knew that it was a special record.
Yeah, I gave him hell, man. I gave him hell. Shout out to Serch, man. I apologize. Yo, we used to go on the roof and argue everything, man. And like I said, it's been so long. I thought Nas was signed before me, but I was signed to Serch before Nas. He just got his deal before me.
Right.
And I would bring records to Serch. So a lot of the stuff you hear on Word Life, I probably had pre-recorded with demo stuff. I just changed the music. Like Ozone had 3 different versions before it was, you know, the Wild Pitch version.
Oh wow, okay.
Point of Views was an idea already. Constables was an idea already. What else on the album? My mom's, you know, she used to sing, so that was an idea. But I would bring him records, and he'd be like, "Nah, nope, nah." And I'll say this now, but I probably wouldn't have said this years ago. If you listen to what me and Nas was doing, Nas, people don't understand with talent sometimes. Sometimes it just, and when he did what he did with Halftime, it was just, he found his pocket already early. He just ain't know it yet. Me, it took me a little longer to find my pocket of how to make records, but I believe It Ain't Hard to Tell was an old demo record for him. If I'm not mistaken, the Michael Jackson sample and everything, him and Lars did that early.
Right.
Before they redid it, like they did it. Lars did the record over like 20 times.
Wow.
I was there. But you know, like I said, for me, Search was like, it's not it. It's not until I would get upset, and then I started figuring it out. He wasn't trying to make me upset. He was trying to make me a better artist. You know, trying to groom me to be a better artist. He wasn't trying to groom me to be like Nas. He wasn't trying to. He was just from experience. Yo, this is. I wasn't listening. He was like, you gotta. It's a tune. You gotta be in tune. And I was just like, but I'm giving you the records, and yo, I believe I might have slammed down Time's Up on his desk, and he was just like, the fuck? Like, but this is after a year, man. This is after a year. I did the album fast, but he was looking for something to introduce to the world, and I didn't have those records, so to speak, at that moment. And he was just like, I wasn't gonna let you embarrass yourself or put out anything prematurely, and then not, because you would have been mad at me either way. You mad at me now for turning down songs you would bring it to me, but you would have been even more upset had I not did this process with you. And I get it now. And Time's Up, that's where things clicked with me after that record. Not that I wasn't making the music. It was just it wasn't the songs that was ready to introduce people to OC, and he figured that out, and he was like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's dope. That's super dope. Yeah, because it was one of those. It was just one of those singles that when it dropped, it was like, oh shit.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, you know, it was unfinished to me. It was only 2 verses. You know, I was still I was overproducing at this point now. Now I'm starting to, you know, understand how to, and you know, I found I got rated to do the Slick Rick joint. You know, I didn't write a 3rd verse because I couldn't. The record was so awkward, and it was a Pharaoh before it was mine. It wasn't my record.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Prestige. Shout out to Prestige. He did Point of Views on the album. He brought the sample to March's crib, and when I heard the sample, I was like, damn, that's different. Yeah. And March would, you know, he would toss CDs to the side. So this CD he tossed to the side, I looked at it go to the side, and I was like, I'm gonna grab that shit. So I grabbed the shit, and he like, damn, I can't find this CD with this sample on it. I'm like, oh, is it there? Who? When? I don't know what you talk. Now you get busted by your parents for stealing some shit.
Yeah. He
like, damn, man, I'm looking for this CD. Why you accusing me for? You know. But I was in his house, so I'm like, I ain't take it. Fuck, man. And he like, I ain't say you took it. And he started laughing like, oh, you got this shit. Nah, I ain't got that shit. Prince took it. And yeah, but it was something presented to him first, and you know, and then I let Buck hear the sample. Buck was like, yo, I know exactly what it is. I said, yo, you got 1 million records that people, you know, people would stand over March. And I ain't saying no producers' names, but a lot of producers that we love and adore was like, March was put it like this. And I do this on every interview that I do get to, you know, talk about. Prisoners of War. Wake up to the mathematics of an erratic rap, rejuvenator, rhyme, that's an old verse. So they was a group called STP before they was Organized Confusion.
Right.
STP, simply too positive.
Yep.
STP, the oil company, was like, get the fuck up out of here. No. And you know, they had signed the Hollywood Basics. Shout out to Funky Klein.
Mm-hmm. R.I.P. Funky Klein. Yep.
Yeah, Funky Klein, and you know, he was bringing them along, and they was about to sign to Disney, and you know, Hollywood Basics is under Disney, and
right.
you know, he was just like, you know, that verse was probably from 87. He just tweaked it a little bit.
Wow.
So that's my point, man. These guys was, and I still praise them to this day, man. Like, they was way ahead of themselves. So I would copycat everything they did. Wake up to the mathematics of it. I would do all that shit. Everything you hear on their albums, I would bring demos back like that, and they would be, you know, Lawrence would be like, and Prince would be like, hell no. Like, why you trying to? And me and him would get in arguments, tussles, all that shit.
Yeah.
You know, because he was just like, nah, like, and you know, like I said, he explained it, but yeah, man, like them guys, basically, it was just it was a special time. It's still special to me, you know what I'm saying? Because it's things that y'all probably don't know or probably might have heard from him or other people, and you know, my perspective and my fact from what I seen, I was just sitting quiet one day, and you know, I heard records and I was like, damn, like, you know, I heard a lot of Rakim records too before Paul C died.
Oh, wow.
So I was here in the studio. I heard Run for Cover before it came out.
Wow.
I heard I believe I heard the Skeleton of Mahogany.
Wow.
Which is Paul C as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard some shit, man. I was around greatness from jump. Like Ultramagnetic Boogie Down Productions was a crew. People don't know this.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were actual crew. Like before B-Boy Records and all that. It was, you know, that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's why I said is the producer on a lot of that Criminal Minded shit.
Yeah.
It was a crew, you know, and then Scott died and everybody went their own way.
Right. Wow. Crazy.
I was dead, man.
Crazy to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah. I always say that. I was just like, I was dead. Yo, Large had gray hair back then. Dead serious.
Oh man,
Large, ask him yourself. He had gray hairs. It's a some genetic shit. Like Large was he was gray haired, salt and pepper back then. And I used to look at this dude with funny glasses and him, and I'm like, yo, you know, dope. I was around Akademiks in high school. You know, my whole demo shit was in Left Rack in a project called Left Rack where Nori's from.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I used to do my demos out there. So I was messing with these two brothers that recorded all my demos, and they happened to have another cat named Akademiks. And that's how me and Ak met. And we used to rhyme for hours and all this crazy shit. And, you know, I had to do a book one day, man.
Yes.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm on it.
Yep. Yeah. Do an album and a book together. Didn't Chuck have that idea?
There you go, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
The album
that's
and the book.
Chuck's
I told
idea.
you it's not easy to do albums.
Yeah. Well,
it's hard to, once you get locked in, you good. But
yeah.
Somebody being like, you should do an album. I'll be like, yeah, all right. And because I can't. It's just,
shouldn't there be like a third one here?
Yeah, it was supposed to.
Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah. It was supposed to be Blood Moon.
No pressure.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you a cover for the third one.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah, I just never recorded this shit. See? Lazy shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it is Flatline hit me to Real Life Parts 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like you can't do the storytelling thing because you can do it very well. So you got a lot of stories. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I waited for L in the studio the night he got murdered.
Yeah.
Yep. I had another idea. I was mad as shit, but in hindsight, thinking about it now, he never stood up a studio session for anybody.
Mm.
You know, so I still have to say I wasn't thinking. I was thinking out of emotion, and I didn't think maybe something was wrong.
Right.
I wouldn't have thought that. You know, you don't think about your mortality when you're younger either.
Yeah.
Right.
So I slammed and packed my shit up and hopped in my car, went through Midtown Tunnel. I was bumping C and D&D. It's like yesterday, I could tell you just like the record. And I was bumping the War Report coming through the Midtown Tunnel, and I had moved to Crown Heights, I believe. And I walked in the door. You know, my girlfriend, who's now my wife, you know, we've been together since high school, but she was like, yo, you know, L is gone. So the first thing I thought is the glue to the crew, Finesse. And she said L. And I was like, L, Ness? And she was like, nah. And then she told me show called, and I believe him and Joe found out the news, and they went down and seen his body before it got cold.
Wow.
Word. So it was just like, damn. Like they was like, yeah, he got it. I laughed, but I cried at the same time when I say this shit in my head. You know, L always wore chucker boots. So, you know, his boots was sticking out from the sheet. And we know him to wear chuckers, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, yeah, that's him. So wow. I believe Showbiz was going to Atlantic City. He was on the George Washington Bridge. He did some James Bond shit when he got a call from the street dudes or whatever. Told him he didn't believe it. You know, L was the baby naturally out the group, and everybody was, you know, he was a gambler too, man. L I see our face, but he ain't gamble like a few $100. Like L would get in gambling debts.
Oh shit.
You know, Ness would come. I'm gonna say this. Y'all interview Ness. He'll tell you better, but I know the woman Ness was with at the time, you know, knew L too. So Ness said, yo, man, I just got home. He like, you almost tripped over somebody. He like, yeah, it's the motherfucker L laid on the floor because his brother looking for him because he took 10 grand and gambled it and lost it. So he said he came home and tripped over motherfucking. Now, he should be the only man in his apartment, but, you know, L is his little bro. So he like, yeah, man, I come home drunk and shit, and I trip over this nigga. I'm like, what do you mean trip? He like, yo, L is scary and scared because Lee, he took money out of Lee's stash and hit a head crack at a gambling spot and lost the 10 in one roll.
Damn.
So he was always into shit and running the street of Harlem dudes. So yeah, but yeah, man, like that shit broke my heart. And you know, and we just came off the road together probably that winter. You know, he toured the whole Jewels with me. You know, so it was like bittersweet. It's still bittersweet. I just don't talk about him no more unless people ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, but dude was funny, man. Like he would, you know, his brother would call him, yo, Ness, man, where's L at? L be sitting right next to him. I don't know. Yo, man, he done took another $5 grand out of my. Wow. That's like, yo, I let him know you called this shit and you hang up, yo, L, man, like you in 15,000 for your brother. Did he know you? Then you know L was funny, so he told me I could take money when I needed it. He like, I don't think he told you to take 15,000. Like, what the fuck, like, but yeah, dude was a genius, man. You know what I'm saying? And I wish I always tell people nobody would have liked L today because he was on the same path as Jay.
Yeah.
That was him and Joe. Joe was exactly where he's supposed to be.
Right.
Big L was chasing that. He had flamboyant early. Remember, he was in high school when he did his first album.
Yeah.
And that's Founder. But I never seen nobody coming to their talent that quick. So, like I said, I'm hearing Ebonics, I'm hearing other stuff, I'm hearing music, and I'm like, it's not that Devil Son shit. It's some other shit.
Right.
You know, and he's got rhyme books for days, and he's battling people, and he's doing all kind of shit, and you know, we doing shows, and yo, I'm not saying this because he's gone, but he actually, you know, he would actually outshine me on the show, and I was like, nigga, calm down, like, calm down. Like, he would get on stage, and you know, that's what he did. You know, to me, you know, he was gonna be Rockefeller, and people be like, nah, I don't think. Yeah, he was going for superstardom. That's what his goal was.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think it sets in people's mind when I say that to them. They just think, you know, they not looking past Ebonics in the big picture. They just think, you know, he was gonna be here and gone. Nah, he had plans, and he was executing them. And you know, he was about to sign a Rockefeller.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. He had the album done already. He's about to go to the Rock. Like, you know.
Yeah.
It was on. Like, it was about to be some other shit. And, you know.
Yep.
Wasn't in the cards, right?
Yep. Never know.
Yeah.
Never fucking know. Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, other than that, man, like the music business is different. I stay away from this shit now. I sit back like Oz and I just sit back and watch people. Like, I sit back and watch people talk. I sit back and watch people make music. You know, our peers from our era, and it's like, yo, if you ain't gonna do it right, don't do it at all anymore. And I understand a lot of things Daddy-O say I don't agree with. I'm gonna be straight up. But you know, that's my elder statesman in this shit, and I respect him 200%. But I just, you know, some things I'm like, yeah, you right, and some things I'll be like, man, I'm gonna go have me a glass of Gosha 9-7. Like, I ain't paying attention to this shit. You know, but Daddy-O speak his mind.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
You know, and he's right about some things, but it's just some things with the music business. To me, look where we at in technology today. You know, before we would have a label set up shit like this.
Right.
You know, and we cut all that shit out now. It's no middleman. Like, we can actually contact each other on social media, and, you know, if it's of interest. And they wasn't really doing shit. That's how I look at it. You know, we was always the talent.
Right.
The media was always the people who broke certain things. Like, we didn't need y'all needed us.
Yep.
You know, look at all them old Rolling Stone movies with a lot of these kids that was growing up, you know, barely of age, and they going on tour with rock groups and shit like that. writing stories about them. Like, yo, the media and the artists are more important than any record label.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And y'all don't make or break us. So, I'm thankful for y'all reaching out to me, even though people reach out to me, but it's just always humbling, to talk to your peers and see what people get and don't get about you.
Yeah. Nah, man, we like to celebrate the artists and the stories. That's part of the reason we do the show, is just to, to allow people such as yourself to talk and give your perspective and your point of view. And, we want to hear your stories because you got the stories,
right?
You were there.
Right.
This is an important part of hip hop history,
right?
And we try to celebrate that as much as we can.
Right. I get it, man. I get it. But to me, like I said, I just have certain. I always felt, and I ain't saying this shit. I always felt the DJ was first. I always felt certain things is just what they are. Certain, I don't have no media horror stories. Certain things, what people do, you have to treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Right? That's how I believe we always raised. And, the media and the music go hand in hand, not the record company.
Yeah.
And the DJ is the first person we started fucking with. Like, the MC was second. Like, I always keep that in the back of my head. I'm gonna go to my grave with that shit. Like, the DJ and then the rapper.
Yeah, it's facts.
Yeah, that's actually a album title, right? Jazzy Jeff Fresh Prince.
Yep.
That shit is
my favorite.
True.
Yep.
The DJ and the rapper. It's the DJ first, the rapper second, and the DJ shined and gave the rapper shine, and I just look at things different. I approach things different. I'm not doing a million shows, not because I don't want to. It's just I have ethics, I got code, and I understand the worth in that. OC is my real last name, but OC is a brand, not Omar Cradle. You know what I'm saying? But people be like, here's a perfect example. People don't pay attention. Yo, so what does OC stand for? And I look at people like, you dead serious? Like, you just told me you had my album, right? Or you bought my product and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
anybody who knows about liner notes and reading the back and credits and things of that nature know that OC stands for my first and last name, Omar Cradle. It's nothing hidden about that.
Right.
But people don't pay attention. And some people blow smoke and I don't fuck with them. Like, I done ended interviews like, so it's like, yo, you ain't even do your homework. I have to go.
I'm out.
Yeah, like, yo, you wasted my time and your time.
Yeah.
Just being on a bandwagon doing some bullshit. Like, so what OC stand for?
Mm-hmm.
Out of control. I'm out of here.
Man.
Yeah, like, this life is, we got a hell of a life, but we got a hell of a life. It's like, damn, man, like, I just moved down south too, so I moved down here before the pandemic, but I'm secret squirrel, so I move around like on some, and just recently, man, and I know I'm 51, so I know, yo, OC, and I'm like, God damn, like, what's up, man? Like, we in the sticks, man. Like, all right, what up? Nah, I knew that was you. It's like, dude.
Go ahead to move.
Did you just shout me my whole name in the fucking supermarket? Like, yo, man. All right. You got albums with you or something? Cause you ain't know you knew you was gonna run into me. Nah. Why you yelling my name in the supermarket, dude? Yo, it's but I love it. You know, I love it, man. It's just respectfully.
Yeah.
Things respectfully, man. Like, you know, I remember one time, and this is my digging member, but I remember one time years ago, Fat Joe palmed the back of my neck, and that shit got me tight. I just palming the back of a man's neck is just some unwritten rule shit. I don't know why he did it that day, but he did it. I said, all right. I waited maybe like 3 years. And shout out to my man Joe, it's my family. But I did the shit back to him at SOBs. And he turned around and I seen like 1,000 wolves with him turn around till they realize it's me. But I said, yeah, that shit don't feel good, don't it? And he looked at me. He said, oh.
Wow.
Got me back. I said, yeah, I got you back. Fucker. Like yo, man. Like, that's what this shit is funny, man. Like, yo, people talk about the music. I'm like, yo, the backstories is the stuff you want to hear from people, though. Like, what goes on backstage. And, you know, you see artists with each other. Them motherfuckers was just fighting.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was just punching each other, and they crews just killed one another. And, yo, it's a bunch of stuff going on, man. Like, and I just don't like it, man. The violence is crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't even want to go overseas right now. Like, I've been getting mad offers. I'm like, nah. They about to throw bombs. Like,
yeah.
No. Nah, I won't. I'm like, yo, dogs. We this close to World War III. Like, do you understand what's going on? Like, I don't want to be in Europe when that shit happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
No disrespect. You know?
Right.
But it's just like, yo, like, it's real things going on that we need to basically, like, pay attention to. And the music is the least thing. I do that shit from my heart, my soul. So it's not that serious. Like,
yeah.
So I say all that to say that's where the same moon, same sun materialized from. And that's probably my best work.
It's really dope.
Really? Yeah.
Nah, you're not hearing me though. That's my best work. Not because it's better than the other stuff.
Right.
It's just, if you're gonna make music at the age that we made it to, like, make powerful music, make a statement.
There's substance in
substance.
Both of these.
Yeah.
Serious, like, and there's stuff that I'm still catching that you said.
Yeah.
On these.
You know.
So yeah. They have legs. These albums have legs, I think.
The album is, to me, like, those records are gonna, especially the Same Moon Part 1, you know, it's some powerful shit on there, man, and it scared me a little bit. And I believe before I left New York, I seen the eclipse in 2017, 2016 in the daytime, broad daylight, 5 o'clock. That's why the eclipse is on the album cover. No bullshit. A crow ran into my window when that album came out. And I was like, yo, I've been saying I had to leave New York for like the past few years, but after that shit happened, I seen the eclipse and the album. I was just like, yo, nobody's gonna believe me, so I'm not gonna, associate the album with what's going on. But, that's what happens. The music reflects life.
Yeah.
And I ain't no seer. I ain't no wizard. I ain't none of that. But you know, you speak things into existence because it's already there.
Mm-hmm.
And it just happened that album lined up. So the album came out, the eclipse happened that day, and a crow ran into my shit. I said, yo, I got to get out of New York.
Wow.
I had to leave, you know, and we did the second part, and the second album just grew on me. You know what I'm saying? The part 2, phase 2 grew on me, but the Blood Moon is reflecting what's going on today. And I'm glad I ain't do the record. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't want to be the one that put that shit in the air, but it's in the air already. You know,
Yeah.
We moved out here, me and my wife, and basically we didn't know a pandemic was coming. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like a lot of my friends passed away in New York. A lot of my friends passed away in New York. And I was just like, damn, was I part of that wave? And did I, you know, escape that wave?
Yeah.
You know? It was just crazy. So that's why I ain't making no music right now. I said, I have to chill, man. That shit had me on pins and needles. I said, yo, man, you gotta, KRS said it. Yo, words, you gotta watch what you say.
Right.
Gotta watch what you say, because that shit come to life. And it was spooky, man. A lot of stuff on that record is spooky.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, when you're ready, bro, we're here to hear it. So.
Yep.
Definitely. I just wanna make music at my leisure, man, without people telling me I should be doing albums. It's like, yo, people want to enjoy. People wanna. I ain't want to put no music out either, as well. Too, because you're gonna talk about what's going on. I don't want to put people in a somber.
Yeah.
That's not why we did the music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even though we got music like that, I've done records like that my whole career, but not a whole album of somber shit. Like
yeah.
You know, I don't want to be a part of that. Make people feel depressed, and I don't want that. Like, so
yeah.
I know everything that's boiled up in me up to this point. You know, had I did an album last year or something like that, I would have talked about all the shit that we know is going on. Y'all would have been like, we know it's a pandemic. Oh, like we know people is getting sick. Like, I don't want to talk about that. You know, so I think I got it though. I got the next project. It's probably my last project.
Wow.
But I think I know what I'm gonna do this last go around. You know, I'm gonna have fun with the shit though. I ain't doing nothing depressing, and I just want to have fun with the record, and I want people to enjoy it, and I want them to get what I'm giving, you know, this time. And like I said, I never made music to please people. I always knew though, once it's out of my hands, it's not mine anymore, so to speak. So, but this time I'm doing something deliberate this time, and I want people to enjoy themselves when they hear the joint. You know what I'm saying? And you know, not be on so many pins and needles. You know, you want to escape that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't want to bring the mood down, man. I'll just talk.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. And hey, we're gonna wrap it up. But you are always welcome back. Bring you back for part 2, because we got more albums to talk about. We didn't even get to. So
Nah, we definitely need to do a part 2, man. And like I said, yo, Flat, I appreciate you, man. Like I said, every time I look on the list, or I get a alert, I'm like, damn, I didn't think that record was going. I didn't think about it like that. I'm like, damn.
Well, it's a pleasure to help shine the spotlight on your work obviously I'm a fan. So, but you're. I mean, you stay sharp. So,
Thank you.
We'll continue on this musical journey.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, OC, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. And yo, let's do it again.
Yeah, we will
Love
figure
that.
it out and set it up.
Yep.
Indeed.
Right on.
All right.
Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah.
Shout out everybody in the house tonight. Everybody who came through, man. Appreciate y'all, and let's do it again, man.
All right.
Right on.
Sounds good, bro. Thank you. There it is.
So chuckified. Giant screen.
Thank you, Flatline.
Oh man, that's my pleasure.
Yeah, that was great.
How
was
does Flatline
fantastic.
not have the White Album? With
That was what?
How does Flatline not have the White Album with red lettering like I've got it?
I know. God, as soon as we get off of here, I'm going to search for it.
Yeah, dude. I'm like low key disappointed. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
You told me that there were the green and the gold ones. You didn't know about the third one?
I didn't know about the third one. I messaged him. I don't know when it was. It doesn't matter. Like 5, 6, 7 years ago, telling him I got the gold one and asking him if there was any other colors. And at the time, he said no. So maybe, and I think he said something like he just found out recently there was.
Oh yeah,
third
right.
one.
Right.
So,
What was the difference? It was just a pressing thing, or
yeah, and it is different. The gold version, the paper is even different that it's printed on.
Huh.
So anyway, it's
Interesting.
more hip hop nerd shit, but I love
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Love that hip hop nerd shit.
Yeah.
Try to figure out.
That was dope. We didn't even get to talk about this.
Right.
Which is back when I was doing interviews a bunch, I interviewed OC and AG at the same time, which was pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice.
That was a while ago.
Jenny interview now.
2009.
2009.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Who wants a Jenny interview? Nobody wants.
Everyone.
Voodoo
does.
Scratch does. So Jen.
Yeah. So yeah.
Jen, are you following this Akademiks thing?
Don't get her started.
Started again.
And with that,
Yeah, exactly. Wow, that was fantastic. And what we didn't do that we have to do is tonight's show is sponsored as always by the Spit Slam record label group.
Spin it up.
The Spit Slam record label group, a Chuck D situation. Catch us on your favorite streaming platform, on Bandcamp, or visit our official web store at spitslamrecords.com. All releases are available digitally or on CD, with select titles available on vinyl and cassette. The Spit Slam record label group. Throwback to the future sound. It's funny, every time I show the promo, I'm like, oh man, I gotta update that promo. So
Ultra Mag.
yeah. So yes, so there it is. And as always, please like and subscribe, and so that you always be aware of the stuff that we have coming up. So thank you guys for a fantastic show. That was great. We will do it again next week. I don't think we have it solidified who our guest is next week, do we?
Who are you asking?
Anyone that might know. I don't
know.
I got nothing.
We'll keep it a surprise. All right. So, ladies and gents, until next week, thanks for joining us, and we will see everybody again on It's C-Doc again.
C-Doc again.